So we have the Team Cup going on right now. If you're not on it, that's okay. Just keep an eye out for when we do it again. It's a great time to be in a small group, build a team, and really just push each other. So I'm hoping you guys are coming together, you're encouraging one another, sharing some tips to do daily, and really pushing this month. It's getting closer to the time that people are thinking about swimsuits. So things should begin to pick up in our business as long as we are talking about it, sharing about it, and inviting. And of course, it's the tax refund season as well. So that is in our favor. So be sure to be reaching out to as many people as possible. February is kind of fun. These cups, you get to push yourself in new ways and get out of your comfort zone and talk to as many people as possible. So if you haven't yet, you can do the Go for No. And what that is basically it's a sheet and you print it out, and you don't really need this sheet. You could write it on a piece of paper. But basically, your goal is to talk to as many people as you can and get 100 no's. And so because you're going for no, it's not scary. But you'll find that through the process, you're going to be building relationships, and you will get people that say yes. And you will also be able to have that relationship to further in the future, so that you're making that initial connection, you're building your pipeline, and then able to in the future they'll come back around. So Go for No is a great mindset to be in for February. Try and get 100 no's by the end of the month is totally doable. We still have 2 weeks left. So Go for No. I promise you will get some yeses too. Let's see what else we have going on. We have the Coach Sneak Peek going on right now. If you have anybody that is interested in that, you can still add them into the group. If you're not in the group, just type it in our Fearless and Fit group. Just say, hey, I need to be added, and we'll get you in there. So basically, it's a time for people to learn about the business. It's free. They can go and check the posts from yesterday, and they'll be able to catch up without a problem. And then we are going to, so the first of the month, we always kick it off with a brand new coach apprenticeship program. So we kind of switch gears like mid-month and start inviting. So we switch from inviting for accountability groups to inviting for coaching. And truthfully, I like to start with coaching first, because if you are looking to see results, becoming a coach is going to be natural, because people are going to be asking you about it. What are you doing? You look so good. And this way you have a platform to say, oh, this is what I'm doing. Would you be interested? They say yes. Send them to your website. There you go. There's absolutely no, reason not to do it. So I always start with coaching, and then, you can work your way back. That's a good rule of thumb. But let's see, I'm trying to think, is there anything else? I'm still a little all over the place. It's been crazy. Went from being sick to my kids to being sick, my husband being sick, and then a snow day today. So, okay, so tonight I wanted to talk a little bit about Jeff Hill, who is the global sales guy for Beachbody. He talked at our leadership retreat, and I thought he had some really awesome points. And so I wanted to kind of speak a little bit about what it was that he talked with us about. And he first, came to us and said, why would anybody choose to follow you? And that's a really good question, right? You might be like, I don't know. I really don't know. So this goes back to, that niche. This goes back to, what are those 5 things, those 5 rocks that, we have talked about, that is unique about you. We all have something unique about ourselves. And so that is what you want to tap into. As you build relationships through other things like outside of Beachbody, the Beachbody thing will come alongside of that, and you'll be able to talk about that. But you really want to figure out, what is your message? What is your message? And, it can be a mess. Your life could be a mess, and that could be your message. Because through your mess, there's always a message in there. And everybody has struggles and everybody has difficulties. And, thinking about, how sick I was this past week, I was not able to do really anything at all. And so I had a lot of time on my hands, and, it allowed me to sit back and say, okay, like, what is my message? Because we all have a purpose here on earth. And some of you still might be exploring that. Some of you might know. But, there's something unique in you that serves a divine purpose. And so, that is what you want to run with. And so I was saying, sitting on my couch, laying on my couch, number one, like, thank God for this business, because I didn't have to worry about, calling off of work and all these things. So I felt, so grateful in that regard. And then to have teammates that stepped up and took over, the reins for me. But, I wouldn't be or have any of that if I didn't step out in sharing my message and sharing, my purpose and really truly what it is that I'm after. And there's no wrong answer. That's the beauty in this. There's absolutely no wrong answer. You can run with whatever it is. There's people that are in healthcare, and that's their thing. Their mission is to get people, their preventative now, so that they don't have to go and be in the hospitals. So their mission is, listen, I'm in healthcare and I see the bad stuff that goes on, and I want to help people right now so that we can prevent that. There's people who have, just think about your background. Think about what it is that you've been through. And you'll have little things that intertwine. So I'll give you an example. So my vision, my purpose is really truly led by what I want to share in as far as what I feel God has set forth. So there's a ton of different things, but really understanding your self-worth, like that's huge to me. Learning to be an overcomer, that's huge to me. And why? So I go back. So why are those things like huge to me? It's because I was a teen pregnancy. I went through a ton of crap, a ton of heartache, scary stuff. And so I felt worthless at times. I felt that pain and like freaked out. What am I going to do? I've never had a job in my life, and now I have to be a mom, So I know what it's like to have that fear, to have that worthlessness, to feel like I've let everybody down. So I've used that mess and turned it into my message. So how did I get through that? What was it that allowed me to get through that situation to where I am today? So, and it doesn't have to be something big like that. It could be anything, from day to day, just as a mom. Some days you want to rip your hair out and you don't know what to do. And, how did you get through that? What was it that allowed you to come through that situation and see that light at the end of the tunnel? So it doesn't have to be this huge, crazy thing, but really truly think about what it is that makes you unique and your story. Your story is what's going to connect people with you, and your story is going to help fuel that purpose, that mission that you are set on. So tonight after the call, I really want you to sit and think about that. And, you know, you can jot down just different words, different, you know, couple sentences, things in your life that were of great significance or great heartache, or, you know, my one coach, or my friend who's a coach, she, you know, she is in healthcare as well. However, her grandfather died of like a massive stroke in front of her and of her son, and she knew a lot of it could have been prevented, but that horrific event has been what's catapulted her through this, because she's like, I don't want any family to go through what I had to go through, and for my son to see what he saw. And so, you know, it could be a tragic situation that, you know, pushes you, that gives you that drive and purpose. But it doesn't have to be. Like I said, it could be something amazing that's happened to you. But think about that. Think about your life events, big cornerstones that have happened. And then write down, how can you share that? How can you relate to people who maybe are in that situation now and help them get through? Because this, to me, goes way beyond Beachbody. Beachbody is just a platform for us. Beachbody, yes, we are help changing lives through health and fitness, 100%. But if you've been in the business long enough, you know that also ties into self-confidence, that ties into self-worth, and then all of the other things combined. So, you know, Beachbody itself on paper is very small piece. Yes, that is what is going to, you know, give us the money through our sales, but that's not truly what we're about. You know, their mission is to help people live healthy and fulfilling lives. So what's fulfilling to you? Maybe define that. What is a fulfilling life? Because yeah, absolutely it's health. Absolutely it's being able to run around with your kids. But what exactly is a fulfilling life to you? If you can define that, it'll help you with your vision as to where you want to take this. Okay, so you want to get it down. You want to write all your thoughts out, and then try and simplify it. So, you know, we talk about breadcrumbing, and what that means is, you know, you're going to have like all these different pieces to your life, to your story, right? But you don't want to just like do one big post and be like, here's my life story, and like lay it all out there. People are going to be like, whoa, that's a little much, right? So, you want to like breadcrumb. So, you know, sometimes I talk about how I felt when I was a teen, you know, being pregnant, and I connect with people who have gone through the same thing. Sometimes I talk about, you know, more of the uplifting side, and just how, you know, you're priceless. You are, you know, God just views you as this diamond. And, you know, so then I have that aspect. And then I have, you know, the aspect of learning to, you know, get through life with a child while I was still a child, basically. You know, there's all these different pieces. And then I am a fitness instructor. So, you know, I throw little tidbits in there. But, you know, I don't throw everything at them. I leave little breadcrumbs. So I'll talk about little things here and there so people get to know me, and then they can kind of see like full picture what I'm all about, because it all kind of ties in with my message. Does that make sense? Okay. So you want to simplify it and then focus and then execute the consistency of that story. So, you know, that goes along with, you know, posting 3 times a day at minimum on social media. Obviously, every post does not have to be well thought out and leaving these breadcrumbs of your life. Those are just things that are allowing people to see who you are, because that's what they're going to connect with. There's nothing wrong with, you know, throwing up, hey, this is the recipe that I made today, like what I did. But you need to give them a solid foundation of them understanding who you are. Okay? All right, awesome. So consistency is key. It is key, it is key, it is key. I will tell you that coaches who post every once in a while, they do it when they feel like it, their business is like, and it's actually stays like as a level playing field. It never reaches past this line. If you're consistent, it might be slow, but you're gonna go like this, and you're gonna surpass that line. Okay, so when we talk about, now I kind of related this to our business, but then also the opportunity of our business for other people. And so Jeff told us this story of, they were in Italy this past, when was that? I don't know, this past year. They bring the top 10 coaches on this extravagant vacation, and they went to Italy this past year. And Jeff wanted to do, it was supposed to be like the best bike ride in the entire country. Like it was the bomb.com. And he was so excited about it. He couldn't wait. They rode their bikes a lot of the places, and they had this like bus that kind of followed or would carry the bikes if they didn't want to ride. And it was one of the last rides, and it was the best ride. And, it started to rain, and the weather started to, get crappy. And Jeff was talking to the other people that were going to do the ride. And, they're like, no, I'm not going to do it. Like, it's raining, it's gross. And, I'm going to skip out on this one. And so person after person after person gave him the same spiel. Nah, I'm not going to do it. So as you know, I'm sure you've been in situations before where you're like so excited about something, and then it's like somebody just crushes you because you're like, oh no, I don't want to. You're like, oh, I really want to go. And the next person's like, no thanks. You're like, oh no, somebody please, right? So he kind of went through like most of the people, and they just like really just dimmed his spirit. And, it just really brought him down. It just, he didn't even want to go anymore because he was just like this, the weather stinks and I was really excited, but no one wants to go. And, this was a ride of a lifetime because he doesn't go to Italy that often. So he was really just kind of like, all right, well, he packed his bike up on the bus, and he walked around, and then he saw the CEO, Carl Daikeler, strapping on his helmet, getting ready for his, to get on this bike ride. And he was like, thought you weren't going to be going. Like, nobody's going. And Carl's like, I'm not missing out on this. Like, I don't care. I'm going to do this. And Jeff was just kind of like, and by the time he had talked with Carl, the bus that was carrying all the bikes was like packed, loaded, like leaving. And Jeff was just kind of like, oh, well, my bike's already up there. Like, not going to do it. And so he gets on the bus, they leave. Carl goes on his ride. And, he said he thinks about that non-stop because he let other people's opinions, other people telling him no, crappy conditions, and the inconvenience change his opportunity and change his mind, and missed out on the ride of a lifetime. And, that really speaks volumes, because how many times do you talk to people and they say no? How many times do you, it could be family, it could be friends, it could be people in your life that's important to you, and they're maybe not believing in you. And people that are like, oh, you see what this girl's doing? She's posting all over Facebook now with all this fitness stuff, and oh, it's another scam, and all these things. And it could very easily change your mind about this whole thing, and you could say, all right, I'm done. Like, I'm packing it up, and I'm stopping this coaching thing. And I'll tell you, I was there. I had people not believing in me. I had people unfriending me. I had people talking behind my back. I had family thinking this was like a big scam, and that it wouldn't go anywhere. And I was there, so I get it. But I knew that if I stopped and I let their opinions change my mind about this company and stop my dreams and my goals and my ambitions, then I would regret it forever, because I would have never known, if I went all in, what it would be. And so, you all are going to come into situations where people are going to tell you no, and people aren't going to believe in you. And you have to be rooted enough to say, that's okay if that's what you think, but this is my path, and this is what I'm doing. And you're not going to miss out on this opportunity, because it is way greater than what you can imagine. So that's for you as a coach. But then you also have to kind of switch the table and think of it as somebody who is maybe a potential coach. Don't give up on those people who say no, because they just don't see the opportunity yet. They just don't see the impact of it yet. And, you have that golden ticket. You have something that, whether it's a challenger or a potential coach, you have, as Bonnie Engel said, you have the map in a gold mine. You have exactly what people need. They just need to see it. And so you need to go out there and know that you have this opportunity of a lifetime for people, and you are going to make sure that others know it. Because whether I knew it or not, when I first began this coaching journey, I'm not going to lie, like, I never did a Beachbody program, and I was a gym goer. I was in the gym like every single day pretty much. And I grew up as an athlete. So not that I didn't believe in the in-home programs, but I just didn't believe it was for me. And so I did the research on Shakeology, and that is what really ignited my fire, because I was like, wow, these testimonies, it has literally changed people's lives. And if coaches didn't reach out to them and talk to them about it, they would still be, on antidepressants. They would still be on diabetes medicine. They might be in the hospital because of X, Y, and Z. It was just, when I did my research, I was like, wow, I need to tell everybody about it. And I had that mentality of, I don't want one person I know to miss out on this opportunity. And so in my first 2 months, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't really have guidance as far as, challenge packs and all this. I didn't sell a challenge pack for months. I sold Shakeology on Home Direct, and I was selling over, 10 people a month. And I think my first month, I signed up halfway through the month, and I had 15 people just on Shakeology. Now, today, once I decided I needed to try an in-home program, that changed. And I believe wholeheartedly in the workout program. Nothing against the gym, because I still love the gym. I teach in the gym. But if you know that it works, and you have something to offer people that is amazing and is going to change their lives, then you need to talk to everybody about it. And when they say no, don't let up. Keep that relationship going. Keep talking to them, get to know them, understand why they said no. And then down the road, eventually they're going to say, oh, you know what? Like, I'm going to try that thing you were talking about. Like, because now they trust you. They've seen that it works for other people and it works for you. So they're going to do it. So don't ever let people's no's, people's, the negative Nellies of this world get you down. I have had to just, I indulge in my personal development and I build myself up as a person so that I, without a shadow of a doubt, it does not matter what other people say to me, because I am so firm in my belief and who I am and my mission that it doesn't matter. It does not matter what other people say. Throughout my whole pregnancy with Ethan, I shared what I was doing, and oh my goodness, the feedback I got from people, oh, should you really be doing that while you're pregnant? Oh, well, you're starving your baby. Like, I had the craziest comments, and but it didn't bother me, because I was just like, I know, like, what I'm doing is wonderful for my child, and it's only going to benefit him and me. And I have 3 kids, if you don't know, and he's the one that I worked out the entire time with, literally until he was born. And I drank my Shakeology, and I ate healthy. Of course, yes, I had my moments of ice cream and things like that. But he was my healthiest child. I healed the fastest with him. I bounced back like that. And he was my 3rd kid. And here in my mind, I'm thinking it's going to be the worst, because, it's gone through this 3 times. So your belief has to be stronger than these people's opinions. And so the best way to do that, get in personal development and write down, what it is that is not going to shake you, that's not going to break you. What are those things that when you do hear people say, whatever it is that hurts you, what is it that's going to keep you in line and focused and say, I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to fire back on Facebook and be like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. We have to be stern and loving and just very, brush it off. Because most of the time when people do come at you, it's because they have their own stuff going on. It has nothing to do with you. They're, whether it's jealousy or it's, there's something there. And if you can understand that, when people come at you, you're just gonna be like, I'm sorry you feel that way, but this is what I'm doing. And it's that easy. So write down those things that are going to keep you like a solid rock. And it's not going to choose. You got to make the decision to be that solid rock and not, be this leaf in the wind, floating around. Because it can be very easy to, when you hear somebody that's close to you and they're like, oh, what is this stupid stuff anyways? And it can be very easy to say in your head, maybe this isn't right. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe this isn't God's plan for me. Maybe this, like all these things can run through your head. Maybe I'm not good enough. Those are lies, 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 and lies. Okay. So be confident in what you're doing and proud of what you're doing, because you are amazing and have such an incredible thing going that you might not even know it yet, because I know some of you are brand new coaches, but you have an incredible purpose and mission in this. And it just will take time to draw that out. So this is a people business, right? Like, so when I talk about, you know, Beachbody, I don't want people, I mean, obviously we have to talk about Beachbody, but I don't want people to go to your page and be like, oh, she's just throwing up like these ads of Shaun T, and like that's all they see, because then you're a salesperson. We're not a people business anymore when you do that. So it's about the connection. It's about that story I talked about. It's about you being real and honest and raw and sharing your mess and your message. And that is what people are going to connect with. And truthfully, you know, that is, you know, that's your mark that you're going to leave on the world. You know, what is that thing that you're going to leave people with? This was another little story that he shared that really, like, I was like crying because just I have kids. So. But so what he does whenever he leaves, I forget how many kids he has, but, and a lot of them are grown now, but when they were little and he would have to leave on like business trips and things like that before the kids were awake, he would draw on their hands an X and an O. So he would leave a mark with them for them to know that before he left, he came in and he gave them a hug and a kiss, and that was his mark on them. So they always knew, and that they could always think about him while he was gone. And so that was like, to me, I was like, oh my gosh, like, number one, that's amazing. I want to do that for my kids. But more so in life and in your business, what is that mark as a leader, as a Beachbody coach, as a person? What is that XO? What is that mark that you are going to be leaving this world with? Because we're all going to have, you know, we're all going to leave a legacy when we're gone, right? We're all going to leave something behind. So what is it that you want to give this world? What is that little extra thing that you can do in your business, in your daily life, to leave a mark on other people's lives? So that is your second call to action tonight, or I guess third. Your third call to action tonight is, what is the mark that you want to leave on the people around you, on social media, on anybody that you interact with in your life? So your first one is to figure out why people want to follow you, okay? Why do people want to follow you? You're going to write down the specific things in your life that create your story, that define you, that make you who you are and unique. And I want you to share those things. And I want you to be brave and bold, because I know it can be scary. I know the first time I shared about, you know, being, pregnant in college, was scary on social media, like with people that don't know me at all. Like, well, I was judged then, I'm going to be judged now, right? No. But there's so much beauty in it, because so many people reach out to me after that and they're like, oh my gosh, like I never knew, like I was a teen mom too, or, you know, I know somebody else in that situation and that really touched me. Like, I'm so I feel like I can do, you know, anything now, and, you know, things like that. And it's like, wow, I didn't really think that would be the case, you know? And so don't be afraid. Usually when you're afraid to share something, it's because there's something great that's going to happen. It's so, so true. And that goes for just in life in general. If you're about to like do something big, Satan's going to do everything possible to be like, no, I'm going to take your mind off of that, and I'm going to make you think about this, and I'm going to tell you you're not good enough and that people are going to judge you. And those are just lies. You got to identify that and be like, no, I'm doing this. Because, like I said, there's great things that will come of it. So don't let fear ever, ever, ever stop you, because greatness is right on the other side. So that's your first one. Your second one is to decide, literally, write on a piece of paper, I will not let the opinions of others and those negative Nellies sway my decisions and my purpose. And then sign it. You will be a solid rock. And when you can be that rock, you will take this farther than you ever imagined. And then 3 is, what is that mark that you are going to leave on this world? So on your following, on, your Facebook page, whatever it is. We all have different outlets of where you're at on social media, but that's also in just day-to-day, face-to-face life too. If you can figure out what legacy and mark you want to leave on people's lives, it will actually make the number 2 so much easier. Because if you're, for example, let's say your mark is to show love in situations, any situation. When people give you, the runaround and try and hurt you, if you know without a shadow of a doubt that is your legacy that you're going to leave, you're going to respond a heck of a lot different than if you didn't know what that mark was. Okay? All right. So those are the 3 takeaways for tonight or calls to actions, I should say, for you guys tonight. And the reason why I talk so much about these things is because the business side will come right along with this. To me, people struggle with the business side because they're not confident in understanding these things. And this is more important to me than, to go and do, which it's important, but to go and talk about how, Success Club correlates to, all these other things. That's what our trainings are about. That's what the online office is about. You can Google it. But this is our time to come together, to build each other up, and to shine. So thank you guys for jumping on. I'll open it up to you if you have any questions for me or concerns right now. And then also new coaches, now that I'm alive, I would like to set up calls with you guys. We can either do one-on-ones or like a group Zoom, kind of like this, so we can chat afterwards, but just contact me for that. So any questions?
Hey, man, I got something to say.
Yeah.
You want me to start Thursday
Yes.
hours again?
Yes. Thank you for mentioning that, Kyle. Okay, so Thursday mornings, we have a 6 p.m. Eastern time power hour. And so basically what this is, we jump on like this, and we just kind of go to work. And it's our time to, it's focused, it's early enough where people aren't really up. So you can, where I talked about reaching out to as many people as possible, that's your time to do it. And you literally on Facebook can go, we can make a checklist of, okay, I'm going to first friend 5 people, and then I'm going to go down my list and I am going to message 20 people. And so, hey, how you doing? It's been a long time. That's it. Move on to the next person. And so it's that conversation starter so that throughout the day, people will be responding back to you. But it's focused time on your business that, we get to do. And then sometimes we'll have conversations if, things are going on or if we have questions. You can create your first or even your entire day Facebook posts during that time. If you create them beforehand, it makes it a lot easier to just kind of pull your photo up. You can copy and paste it out of your notes section in your phone and paste it into, your thing. Or you can even schedule posts on your, if you have a Facebook page, you can schedule your posts for when you want them to go out. So you can do it beforehand and then they'll go out when you schedule it to. So yes, Thursday, 6 a.m. Eastern time. It's a great time to just get it done quickly, and you feel great the rest of the day. Honestly, it's like you got it done, and then all of a sudden you have like all these people coming back to you, and you're like, oh my gosh, I've talked to like 20 people. Okay. Anybody else? No? All right. Well, have a wonderful night. Go kick some butt. I will see you Thursday morning, and let's make this an awesome rest of the week. We have 2 weeks left, so don't give up. I can't tell you, there's so many times where I have like been at a standstill, and then all of a sudden a million people come back to me at the end of the month and they, want to jump in on these things. So congratulations, Amanda. That's awesome. Woo! So yeah, if you keep talking to people daily, it will just come together. So don't give up. There, you can do it. Oh, I'll unmute you. Hold on 1 second. Laura. Here we go. There we go.
I'm currently working with, I sold 3 challenge packs.
Yay! Oh my God, congratulations.
Thanks. I don't know what to do with these people, because for the business side of it, I have no idea what I'm doing with the accountability groups, challenge. Like, I have no idea where to place these people. Now, thank God they're like my mother-in-law, it's my mom, and then a girlfriend of mine. So they're understanding and they're good. So
yeah. So we have these accountability groups, which when did that one start? 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. So typically now people will post in Fearless and Fit when they have ones coming up, but as a new coach, I never expect you to run them your own. Okay. So just if you say, hey, I'm looking to place challengers, are there any going on or starting up soon? People will get back to you and let you know what's going on, and you can get them into those groups. My next one is going to start probably in like 2 weeks. So if they can hold off, then you can just kind of do like hold each other accountable behind the scenes kind of right now. But there are ones that are going on right now that they could go in as well. So.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Elena and I are going to have one up on the 29th.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah, I just didn't know like the unwritten rules. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, can I work with people?
Like,
honestly, like I don't know. Like, am I flying solo? Am I allowed to work with people?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and as a new coach too, if you're not in one, you definitely should be in one.
If I'm not in one?
You. Because that is the way that you're going to learn how to kind of run one. And honestly, there's no right or wrong way to run one. There are, if you go on to Team Beachbody, in their file section, there is an actual layout of a challenge group of how you can run it. And you could just copy and paste it for each day, what you wanted to put in there. But that's never something that like you have to worry about as a brand new coach. When you're ready to run your own, then you run your own. But a lot of us coaches, we kind of run them all together. So, like Kyle and Kelly are doing, or Elena are doing one together. And a lot of times you kind of like pair up with somebody. It just makes it a little bit easier. You get some different blood in there, you know, to.
No, absolutely.
So,
yeah.
But yeah.
Good to know.
We'll get you into one.
Okay.
Anyone else? No. All right.
Laura, when you joined that group, Laura, when you joined that group, I haven't joined a group yet. So
okay,
yeah,
we'll get you too. We will get you.
I'm just gonna do a 21-day fix by myself right now, and my husband's holding me accountable and making sure I do my workouts and I eat.
Awesome. Well, we will get you both into one. I'm gonna write it on a pink sticky note. So we can do that immediately.
And then I feel horrible for asking this, but what's a teen cup?
Yeah, no, you came in at right after we started. Yeah. So basically a teen cup they're not run all the time. It's a group of 5 coaches that get together. You kind of form this team, and you compete against all the other teams in Beachbody. And so you're trying to get as many Success Club points in that month as possible. And so, you know, there's prizes for the different amounts of Success Club points that your team earns. So it's just a good way to kind of get to know other coaches, but also to work towards something. And it actually does push your business a ton during that month. So, you know, it's a great thing to be a part of. You guys just missed the cutoff for it. I'm trying to think, is the next one in June or something? I think it's in June. But usually there's one in the fall, one in the spring, and then one in the summer. So there's going to be a couple more months.
I think if it's in the summer, it's August. Because that's when I hit Diamond. And then there's one in October or November.
Yeah. Well, they did it different. They actually did it differently last year. They did what was that other one they did with the 2 people?
Yeah, that was that was the last one, right, Elena? Because Elena was just, it was me and Kelly, and Elena hit Emerald. And I think it was in November, right, Elena?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was
October or November.
November, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, they did something a little different last year, so I don't know what they're going to do this year, but there will be another one in the next couple of months. So.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Anybody else? And yeah, if you guys want to just, like, if you run across questions, just keep a list, and then when we talk, you can just fire away at me, and we'll get them all out. So we could actually do a call with the 2 of you if you wanted to do that. We could do a Zoom call.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing Made to Crave?
That is one. That? I'm not running a current group for Made to Crave, but it might be coming up. I'm not sure. I'm trying to, which I'm gonna email a couple of you. I'm trying to get together a different type study going on, like our own. So I love the Made to Crave, but I don't connect with it as much as I would like to. So my goal is to get something else in place to kind of run our own type thing. So.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering because I have a couple ladies who from church. They're
okay,
but they're single girls, young girls, but they're not really, financially ready yet. I don't think they're completely sold. So I think I wanted to have them in my home and kind of do more of like an intimate study. So I just didn't know if that was coming up, but if not, it's fine.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I usually run one every couple months. So.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? No? All right, guys, have a great night. Thank you so much for jumping on, and hopefully I see you Thursday morning.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.